Hi, I'm Danielle Hagler with Education USA, and I'm here with Dr. Kathleen Paul, who is the director of FSU's London campus. And we're here to give some top tips to international students about applying to U.S. universities and studying abroad. So, Dr. Paul, my first question is, what are your top tips for international students applying to U.S. universities?
I think my top tip would be to educate yourself as much as possible. Educate yourself about a number of areas. Principally, I think the differences between the US undergraduate system with its approach toward liberal arts and the undergraduate education system that you might be more familiar with in your home country. For example, in the UK, we tend to start out with 15 subjects and then 10 subjects and then 4 subjects. The liberal arts in the US is university education as I believe it's meant to be. It's exploring, experimenting, the chance to ask questions as well as to answer them, the chance to try courses and topics you've never done before, criminology, psychology, evolutionary biology. You can try them all, and then by the end one becomes both a Renaissance scholar but both then still a specialist in the subject of one's area, one's particular discipline. Wonderful. It's a fantastic education.
Yeah, as you can see, Dr. Paul is very enthusiastic about it, and I completely agree. It's very exciting. My next question would be, why should students study abroad?
Well, I think I'm passionate about the US system because I've taught within it for 20 years, and I'm passionate about study abroad because I did it myself. And I think there are, again, so many reasons why one should do it. On the practical sense, I think it enhances your CV. I think it shows employers, that potential grad schools, that you're flexible, adaptable, tolerant, open to new situations. I think the second level is the benefit for the countries involved, for communities. The more exchange we have between cultures, the more people realize that different is not worse or better, it's just different, it's okay. Ah, that's why they do that, now I understand. And most importantly of all, on a personal level, it changes who you are for the better. It gives you the chance to be a resident of a country for a while. You're no longer a tourist or visitor. You get to know the local supermarkets, you get to figure out the bus system, you be a resident, you'll become a part of that city. And when you come home, you have a new appreciation for your home country, for what you did like about it and what you would like to change, but also just an appreciation that stays with you forever about a different culture. It's a fantastic opportunity. I would recommend it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think that's such an important point, that the learning outside of the classroom is just as important as what you learn inside of the classroom. So my next question would be, I guess, a bit more practical.
Yes.
What's your advice for students on admissions exams? So they get a little bit scared about admissions exams. Do you have some advice for international students?
I do. I would say don't be afraid. Don't fear them. They're exams just as any other. You've taken lots of exams in your time. These are just some more along the same way. The best advice in order to make yourself less afraid is to confront them. Practice, practice, practice. There are workshops out there, there are courses, all of which will surely raise your grade. But my best advice would simply be to practice. That the more you take the test at home, if you can get a parent or a teacher, if a group of you are thinking of applying, ask a mentor or a careers counsellor if they will set up 3-hour practice tests, and the more you take those, the better. And when it does come time to schedule that exam, make sure that you schedule it with enough time to take it again. Most US schools will allow you to take it twice and they'll average out the best score. So why not give yourself that advantage?
I think that's a wonderful point about admissions exams. Students are often only attracted to the big name institutions, so the institutions that they've heard of, in movies or popular culture. So I just wanted to ask, what's your advice for those students? Do you think students should just look at the big name universities or should explore their other options?
I think there are many big name universities, right? But we know that there are over 4,000 universities in the US. And sometimes the best school for you may be a school that right now you've never heard of. But it could be a school that's very famous in the US. It might be about going back to that idea of educating yourself, right? The more informed your application, the more specific your application, when you write your letter, why do you want to go to that particular liberal arts school? Or why have you decided that a state school is where you want to go? Or why do you want a private school? What is it about that particular school? So don't be dazzled only by the big names. Recognize that less well known but equally good schools are also there, and they may be the right school for you. Do your research.
Wonderful.
That's my top tip.
I think that is a wonderful tip, that students really need to look and see what, I think you made a great point, what the right fit for them is. So don't try and mold yourself to the university. Make sure that it's the right fit for you. I understand that FSU has a unique International Gateway program, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that?
That's right, we do. The International Gateway Programme is designed for students that want a US education. They want all of the advantages and the benefits and the excitement of a US undergraduate education. And they want to live and study in America. But maybe they're thinking, oh, do I want to go just now? Well, the Gateway Programme allows them to spend the first year at one of Florida State's international campuses. And that could be in London, England, Florence, Italy, Valencia, Spain, or Panama in the Republic of Panama. And upon the successful completion of that first year, and we will help along with those admission tests, we'll provide workshops on those tests, you then transfer automatically to the US campus. It's a fantastic opportunity to mix with US students on that international campus, immerse yourself in the US liberal arts approach, make sure this is the right fit for you. I'm sure it will be. If you've tried that hard, I'm sure it will, but it's your opportunity to ease that transition as you go over to the US.
Wonderful. Well, it was absolutely wonderful to talk to you, Dr. Paul, so thank you very much.
You're welcome, Danny.